In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a project in which you're going to print and score and cut. And the score is going to be done using the creasing tool, the SOLO creasing embossing tool. And so it works a little bit differently than if you were just doing, just say a regular print and cut project, or you're doing just a regular score and cut project, because you're going to be doing, you're going to be, scanning the reg marks. It has to be done a little differently. So set up your project, and the way I have it set up now, right now I have these set, the score lines on one layer, the cut line on another. Now then, for the scoring layers, your normal instinct is to say, okay, I want to set that to score. Well, you can't do that because you won't be able to have a tool change out during the middle of your print and cut process. So if you leave it on score, okay, it's not going to do that. It's going to want to do, everything at the same time. So instead of using score, you're going to use draw for these. So go ahead and set this to draw. And then up here, you'll see that I have them assigned to a red color so I can see them. Well, the drawing, anything assigned to draw is going to print also. And since you don't want these to print, you either want to basically turn off the color here, or you can just drag this layer down so that it is, let me take that back. All right, drag it down, cancel, down and to the left. All right, then you can't see them because they're hidden by the upper cut layer. All right, and that's the way I kind of recommend you do it, is to keep it that way so you can still see the pen color clearly in the preview window. So then the cut layer is still set to cut, which means that it's going to print this layer, which I happen to put a pattern in it. And it, you could have a totally different situation, depending on what the project is. But this particular project, I just set it with a pattern fill, and then it's set to cut, so it'll both print this pattern and will cut out. All right. So for me, the next step is to do the printing. So I'm going to go to File, Print Setup, and make sure I have everything set up the way that I want. Under, for me, particularly under Properties, I always need to make sure I've got the right tray selected. And then if I want to do a print preview, I can do that if I want to. I don't have to, because actually I've already printed it. And make sure you have the right letter size or right paper size, printout size. I'm going to pop out the document panel and turn on show print margins, show reg marks, just to make sure everything looks correct there. And then depending on, you can always do your print after you go into the Create window. I tend to do my printing before I go in, just personal preference. I'm just used to it. And of course, I make sure I've got print reg marks marked. I go ahead and click on OK. But again, if you're used to printing after you get to the Print plus Cut window, that's fine to do that, continue doing it that way. So then let's go to the Create window. And I've gone ahead, I've got my printout, I have it on the cutting mat, I've mounted the scoring tool, and I have the scoring tool tip over the lower right reg mark, just exactly as if, I were doing this, if I was just doing a regular cut and I had the blade holder there instead. So I go ahead and mark use software speed and pressure, for speed and force, sorry. And then one of the things you need to do is you need to set a preset, because when you change tools, that's one thing you have to remember, is that you have to go and select the cut preset. It doesn't automatically remember it from this window. So select whatever you want for your settings to be. All right, let's say I want to make it, I don't know, let's say 20 or something, and then, whatever speed I want. Let's say I want to use 7 and 7, all right? And then click on this plus sign right here, and then give it a name. And I'm going to call it Print Cut Copy Paper. How's that? All right, and then click on OK, and then remember what that is so you can find it. Of course, hopefully you don't have a gazillion different presets. I'm working on a project where I'll have all of these presets available from my settings table, but so right now I have to be careful when I name things so I can find it. So Print, Cut, Copy, Paper. Then come back over, then from this menu, change from Cut to Draw, Pen. And then in this window, you want to make sure you have Draw plus Cut Lines. You want to have this prompt marked right here, enabled, because this is what will make it, after it does the scoring, what will make it stop so that you can change out for the tool holder. And then set whatever force and speed you want to use for that. And you can name this as a preset if you want to, or not. You don't have to, because it will remember these right now when I go ahead and I'm ready to go to the Print plus Cut window. So I click on Print plus Cut. Of course, if I haven't printed, I could print at this point. Otherwise, I click on Start Scan, and then it will start, it will bring up this window first to indicate what the first step is going to do. And this is one of the reasons why you want your, whatever lines that are going to be scored, why it's a good idea to have a color, because you can verify, you can see them right here in the window and say, yep, that looks good. Verify the settings, and at this point you can still make some changes in the settings if you wanted to, and then click on draw. And at this point, the camera will start the scan then and scan the first, second, third, and fourth marks and do the scoring process. So then this window opens up, and the most important thing you have to remember, because I've forgotten a number of times, you need to go change out your tool. Okay, so go over to your cutter, and you won't have to reset the origin because the creasing tool and the blade holder are in alignment with one another. So you just need to take out the creasing tool and put in the blade holder, and it should be still over the lower right registration mark. Then you need to change the settings. So this is where you'll come to the preset menu, and you're going to select the print cut copy paper settings. All right, verify that they look correct, and then you click on cut. And when you click on cut, it's going to repeat the scanning of the 4 marks, and then it will cut out the outside shape of your print of your project. So that covers the steps that you need to know. Here's the little paper box that I printed and cut out and used a glue stick to put together. As always, if you have any questions, please just post it one of the solo groups, and one of us will see your question and we'll be able to help you. Thanks for watching.